And on this month, we have a very, very special treat. And that is that we have Blair leading the call. So let's all give it up for Blair, please. And the reason why Blair was so willing to step up and to do this call and happy about doing the call was because twice a year we have goals calls, because we have 6-month goals that we have, right? For those of you that are on the team and realize that, how many people here realize we have 6-month goals? We call most definite purpose, yeah? Okay, wonderful. And it's that time of the year. Steve Cushman did a goals call in June. We have 2 calls a year. And then Blair was nice enough as kind of a gift to all of us, a holiday gift, to come on now and do the goals call for all of you so that we could set our goals going forward for 2019. How many people here are pretty excited about 2019? Yeah, I am as well. And so to put all of you in the very best position you can to have wins, productive, and to get the things that you really want in 2019, Blair's here to help you do that. And so with all that being said, let's all please give a huge BSTA round of applause to Blair, please. Welcome, Blair.
Thank you. That's nice. I don't even get that. I never get that reception when I come home. So, but thank you guys. As a matter of fact, let me just close the door over here. All that. Apologize.
Everybody have their pen and paper all set? Write some goals, please. If you don't, I would recommend you get some now.
Okay. So welcome you guys, and happy holidays to everybody. Yeah. Do you have it on speaker view?
I will put it on speaker view. There you go.
Okay, good. And then if we could make sure everybody else is muted out there, that'll be good.
Sure.
All right, awesome. All right. So, because it's still showing you as a speaker view, at least on mine, yeah?
I have you on speaker view on my side.
Okay, so is it bigger on my?
Hang on one sec. Hang on one sec, Blair. Okay, unmute all. Blair, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you. So I just have it on speaker side on mine, so I can turn you over if you want and make you host if you want to do something that I am not familiar with doing here.
Well, just so, am I a small picture or big picture right now?
Right now, you're a small picture because I just undid it, but I have put you in speaker view, and I can, when I pressed speaker view a minute ago, you guys, is Blair, do you see a full picture of Blair?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
right,
we can see Blair full screen.
All right.
All right. Well, welcome to the call. Happy holidays, everybody. And it's nice to see all you guys. I got a lot of people on the call, over 30 people on the call. That's awesome. So, and thanks for taking the time to do this. Goal setting is something that most people don't do, believe it or not. There's a lot of reasons for that. And one of the biggest reasons people don't set goals is because they don't want to disappoint themselves, which is really kind of a crazy little voice issue. So I just want to thank you for taking the time to do this. I'm breaking a little protocol here. Normally, I do my own goals. I set it up. I do it privately, but I'm actually going to do mine with you as well. So I'm actually doing my 6-month goals right along with you as we do this together. You guys cool with that? So if I start crying and sobbing and going into a complete meltdown, you guys will understand, right?
Yes.
I'm only kidding. So a couple things before we get started with goal setting. The process we're using was originally developed by Mac Newton. So Mac. We need somebody to mute because you're making some scratchy noise out there. Okay. Yeah. Celine? Yeah. Florian? Just make sure you're muted there. Okay. So this process we're using was originally developed by Mac. He's used it for many years for some of the top athletes in the world, people that have won gold medals in the Olympics, World Series championships, some of the premier people in the world. And his premise on it was really that the reason he came up with this process is because there were some people that had great ability, great talent, great resources, but still could not win. And so when he tried to take a look at it, what was it? And he said, because they don't set the right goals. One of the reasons people don't get their goals is because they set them, but they set the wrong ones, which you're going to understand here in a minute. In other words, they set goals that they think they should have. They set goals that they feel that their parents expect them to have, that their family expects them to have, or they feel society expects you to have, or this is the goal you should do. And the problem with that is that you typically, if it's not a goal that you really, really want deep inside, 100% of your energy is not going to be focused on it. And that's why you probably don't get it. So people set goals, don't get them, set goals, don't get them, because they're the wrong goals, and then they just give up doing them. So one of the reasons we're doing this and following this process is to help you get to the proper right goal for you. This is not for anybody else. This is not for your family. This is not for your business. This is not for society. This is not to look good. This is for you. And that's really, really important to remember, okay? So in going through this thing, you got to let go of what other people think, what you think other people will think. As a matter of fact, one of Mac's rules, it's not one of mine, but one of Mac's rules is when you come up with the set of goals from this process, he suggests that you do not share it with anybody else. Don't tell it to anybody else. And the reason he says that is because typically you're going to set some big goals. And when you try to share with somebody else that doesn't get it, they're going to try to poke holes in it. Or they're going to say, that's unrealistic. Or, why are you doing that? And you don't want any negativity around your goals. So I'm not going to say don't share it, because I share mine with people that I know that can support me with them. But be very, 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 very careful who you share them with. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Nod your heads if that makes sense, okay? So these are a couple things I want you to think about. The other thing I want you to think about as we go into goal setting, we're going to go for the right goal. Now, the right goal for you today may be you may come up with a different one 6 months from now. This doesn't have to be the one forever. It's as you grow, your vision changes and your circumstances change and your abilities change. So therefore, it's logical to assume that your goals will change with them. And you may get some of these, you may not. But to understand, one of the most important things, I want you to write this down. The purpose of a goal is to give you direction and to create a magnet somewhere out there in the future that pulls you toward it. That's it. You may get it, you may not. It's like we climb, some of you on the call, we do, and some of you will be climbing Kilimanjaro with us, right? The goal, seemingly the goal is to get to the summit of the mountain, but everybody that's been there knows that that wasn't even the big thing. The big thing was what you learned along the way. It was all the fitness, the training, the camaraderie, the insights, the enlightenment, the consciousness, all those amazing things were the real important things. But the summit of the mountain gave us a direction to move towards. So whether you made it to the top or made it part way up or whatever, wasn't that important. What was important, that the goal was there to pull you in a direction. Now, why am I telling you all this? The reason I'm telling you all this is because people get either obsessed with goals, or what they do is they just kind of give up on them because it doesn't always go according to plan. So I want you to let go of that and to take a look and to write down that goals give you direction. I don't want you to get attached to it. In other words, some people become their goal. You are not your goal. Your goal is a direction. So some people say, I need to make $100,000 this year. That's a goal. Okay, great. So that's a good goal. So, but everything is about making that 100,000. Well, it's not all about making the 100,000. You may make more than that. You may make less than that. You don't know. But the big lesson for me in 2018 is to let go of your attachments to things. Use it as a direction. Use it as Mac would say, a steering wheel for your life. So you're not out there rudderless out on the ocean. But don't get yourself so wrapped up that if you don't get it or if it doesn't go according to plan or whatever, that you obsess with that, because now at that level you're too attached to it. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Now, Anna Paula, you're on the call too, aren't you? I saw you. I saw your face. You're here,
Yes,
right?
here.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, when we're all done, I'm going to have you talk a little bit about PERT, okay?
Okay.
Because you're the PERT queen.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good. So Anna Paula, we've done a mastermind together, and she did a PERT chart after she did this process. And and of all the people I've done these thousands of times. I've never seen anybody accomplish the MDP or the goal as quickly as she did once she created the PERT chart. She's going to give you a little insight as to how because she does it better than I do. I don't know. I taught it to her, but once again, it's a case where student is way better than the teacher here. Okay, good. You guys all good? Anybody have any questions on any of that before we start the process? Okay. The truth of it is once you do the PERT, or once you get to the ultimate goal, which we call your most definite purpose, or MDP, most definite purpose. And again, remember, most definite purpose means your purpose for right now. It's not your purpose in life necessarily. It's not your purpose for the rest of your life. So don't confuse the word purpose with your life purpose. This is your purpose for right now. Okay, everybody good with that?
Yes.
Okay, all right, awesome. So, and I'm going to do this with you. So is Pao going to take us through a little setup? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
Oh, there you are. Hey, partner, how you doing, man? How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Great. Just came back from Egypt. It's
What are you doing?
intense, but it's great.
What are you doing in Egypt?
I lead a retreat there, and we did meditations and private visits into the Great Pyramids and some very secret sites.
Wow.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many want to go on that trip? I want to go. Sweet. So one of the things about goal setting is one of the challenges with goal setting is that people set unrealistic. They set, again, I said one of the challenges people set the wrong goals. One of the reasons they set the wrong goals, I'd said, is because they're setting goals that they think they should do, or somebody else told them they should do, or it's expected of them. The other reason is because they're in the wrong frame of mind. In other words, their brain is really shut down. I always tell people that and we may talk about this at the end, is that once you get the goal, you start planning for it from the future, working back to the present. And the reason for that is because if you start in your present state, whatever state you're in, your state right now is restricted by limited resources. This is all I got to work with right now. I don't have that much money. I'm not that in good shape. So all that stuff is wrestling around in your brains right now. Okay. So one of the reasons Pao's here is she's going to change your state a little bit, expand you to put you in a higher, I would say in your highest spiritual state, if that makes sense. Is that not your highest, but a higher one, right, Pao? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what the highest one is. If we go to the highest one, we'll all disappear. Okay. But to get you into a state where you are expanded, you're open to more possibilities, and you're thinking in your best terms. Okay. So you guys good with that? So we're going to turn it over to Pao. We're going to let her take us through I'm assuming some visualizations, some processes, or whatever that. Is that okay? All right. You're on.
Thank you, Blair.
Power whoosh. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, whoosh.
Thank you. So now everybody sit where you are right now. There's some posture. Just make sure you sit comfortably, nothing gonna distract you. And the point is, make sure your spine is straight. So it's important that the spine is straight. So which the upper energy and the earth energies just run through you smoothly. Yes. Just I want to check if everybody adjusted. Yes, good. Just relax, relax. Just sit comfortably and relax. And this is the moment. It's in tune with yourself. Okay. It is good that you close your eyes so you won't be distracted. Okay. Gustavo, are you okay? Yes. All right. Okay. So your spine straight, and you just, if you want to leave your eyes open, it's just it's up to you. It's just make sure you relax and just focus. It's all about focus. Just focus your breath and have a sense of centeredness. Yes, imagine you are a column, like a pillow, like straight. Then there's a core, which is in your heart. Just put all your focus in the core area in your heart and watch your breath and how you take in the air and how the air travels through your body and travel out. Yes. Breathe in. Breathe out. Just focus on your breath. Nothing else matters. Nothing else. Just focus your breath and notice while you're doing that, and also be aware of your muscles start to let go and relax. Yes. Yes, your muscles start to relax. If you feel sleepy, you can open your eyes. Keep your eyes open. Yes. Okay. Just be aware of, you relax your shoulders, your arms, your legs, and put all your focus in your heart area is the centeredness. And get that connection to yourself and have a feel that it's your world and you are connected. Be one with your true self. And this is the space, the state that you tune into your highest purpose. That's the purpose that's have the highest good for yourself and for everybody around you, and even for humanity, for your purpose. Yes, a clear sense of centeredness. And I'm going to put a tone here to help you connect. Just stay with yourself. Put a little smile on your face. Just recognize this state as nothing else matters. It's only you deeply connected to yourself And in this state, to recognize what's the most important things to you. Breathe. Centered, fully aligned with all your purpose in the here and now. Yes. Stay in this state. Stay. And have a sense that feel your energy, your vibration being lifted up. Like a smile on your face. Stay in this state. Clear as clear stream without any blockages. A clear stream running through from your head to your toes. Stay in this state and feel good about yourself. That's so much love for yourself. That's so much love for yourself that you set this goal for yourself. And imagine you accomplish this goal, and that happiest is your happiest moment in every moment of the now. Every moment you're living your life, the happiest version of you. Visualize that and feel that in every single cell, every single atoms in your body. You find that goal, already accomplish it, and every moment in your life is the happiest moment. Stay in this state and breathe in, feel your body, move your fingers, move your toes. Stay in this state. Take a deep breath, huge deep breath, and when you feel your body, you're grounded, and open your eyes when you're ready. How's everybody?
Nice.
Back to you, Blair.
Yeah, really, I gotta wait. I gotta come back. That was awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So everybody take another deep breath. Let go. Okay, let's begin. So before we start the full-on goal-setting process, I'm just going to have you entertain a couple of ideas that I want you to think about right now and actually write them down. So I'm going to pose a question, and in the state that you're now in, I want you to answer that question. Just write it down. So the first question I have for you is this. If you knew that you could not fail, if you knew that you could not fail, somehow you were gifted, somehow you got the information that you could not fail, what task would you take on if you knew you couldn't fail that maybe up till now you were afraid to do? Now, I'm not talking about things like jump off a building and fly, or do crazy things like that. But I think in the world that we all live in, if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you what would you take on? What would you do that up till now you might have been afraid to do? Write it down. By the way, I'm doing this process too. And if you can come up with more than one, write more than one down, but not more than 3. If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you take on? What project would you do? What would you do that up till now you've been hesitant or afraid to attempt? Good, excellent, thank you. Good job. Okay, I'm gonna ask you another question. If somehow some heavenly spiritual being came to you and said, your life on this planet in this body is going to be over in 6 months, and you're going to ascend to a higher place, go some other place, or just be gone, whatever that is, what would you spend your time doing over the next 6 months? If you knew your time on Earth was going to be over in 6 months, what would you spend your time doing? Write it down. Wow, that's pretty interesting. I didn't think I was going to write that down. I love this process. Again, if you knew you only had 6 months to live or 6 months on this planet left, what would you spend your time doing? Excellent. Good job. Everybody take a deep breath. Let it go. Very good. All right. Now the reason for asking those questions, and there are other ones, but I don't think we need to do them today. The reason is in the consciousness that Pao has helped you get into. I want you to think beyond what you normally think about. Now, could be how many of you wrote down things just now that you're already doing. That's good. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So if you just wrote down things that if you only had 6 months to live, what would you do? And you're already doing it. That's good. That's a great thing. Because the truth is you have more than 6 months to live. And you're doing what's most important to you. That's good. All right. And if you're not, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it for right now. All right. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to make 3 columns on your on a sheet of paper. 3 columns. So I'm not going to share the screen. You guys can see this. See that? Looks like that. 3 columns. And leave plenty of room to write. Okay, you have 3 columns. Okay, just like that. So everybody do that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to label these columns on the top, on that top line there. So the far left-hand column is, I want you to write down personal / family / relationships. Okay? Personal / family and relationships if you want to. If you don't have family right now, or you just have primary relationships or important relationships, that's the column we're going to focus on over there. All right, now the middle column, I want you to write down professional / career / business, if you have a business. Okay, that's the middle column. And then on the right-hand side, you're going to write self-improvement. So it looks like this. Okay, see that? Okay? Good? All right. So now that you have these three columns, what we're going to do is we're going to identify some goals. So we'll start with the one on the left. Let's start with personal, family, and relationships, okay? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about up to 6 to 9 months. Don't go much further than that. But in your mind, 6 months out, 9 months out, I want you to write down 5, a minimum of 3, a maximum of 5 goals you would like to achieve in that arena within the next 6 to 9 months. Now, it does not need to be measurable, okay? So some people say, well, a goal has to be measurable. It does not have to be measurable. You can say, personally, just like, I want to be a better father. Now, I'm not sure how measurable that is, but that's a good goal. That's a worthwhile goal, okay? So whatever it is that comes to mind, and don't think about this. These are so keep writing while I'm talking, okay? These are goals for you. As Pao said, this is about you right now, not about anybody else. It's not about kids. It's not about your wife, your husband, your friends, your partners. This is you. What do you really want? Okay? Maybe what you want is solitude. I don't know. Okay? So whatever it is that you want is all good. Write it down. Write down 5 of them. Okay? So number them 1 through 5. Now, the other thing is, be careful that you're writing goals that you do have some control over. In other words, you want to say, I would like my wife to be nicer to me. That's not you can't do that goal because you have no control over that. Okay? So, by the way, my wife is very nice to me, so I wouldn't make that as a goal anyway. But what I'm saying is, don't write goals that are dependent on other people doing something that you don't have control over. This is for you. You would say, I want to be a better father. I could say that I want to create more time with my family. Something like these are things that I can do. Okay, so be careful not to involve. They can involve other people, but they can't be dependent on somebody else changing their behavior to make it happen. Does that make sense? Because that's a recipe for frustration. Just write them down. And if you can't think of 5, at least get 3 in there. Wow. How your process worked pretty good.
Thank you.
Okay, 3 to 5. I've got 3 so far. If I had music, I'd be playing it. Maybe Pao could sing. No, I'm only kidding. I wouldn't make you do that. Okay. Okay, that's good. How many need more time? Raise your hand if you need more time. Okay, a few more minutes. Who's that? Who is that?
Annie.
Huh?
Annie.
Turn it off. It doesn't come across. It's perfect, but it just doesn't come across good on the.
Okay.
That way. Thank you. Little pocket bill over there.
Great support, Andy, just the same. Leave it to you.
Thank you, though.
Oh, good.
All right. That's a good list. Okay. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Next column is professional career and business. So same drill. So over the next 6 to 9 months, what goals do you want to achieve over the 6 to 9 months? Again, that are for you, and push yourself. I mean, don't say, well, I need to clean my desk. I mean, that's not, that's kind of wimping out. Stretch it, push yourself. Remember, Kilimanjaro works, and so you can start writing while I'm talking. But Kilimanjaro works because it's such a big stretch, so it opens a lot of space. So don't be afraid. That's why one of the questions I said, if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you take on? Now, right now, your little voice probably chiming in. So I can't do that. That's too big. That's not realistic. Blah, 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 blah. Well, if you're making $30,000 a year right now, and you said you want to make $1 million in next year, I mean, that's probably not realistic. But, the truth of it is that don't be afraid to, within the realm of human endeavor, what's possible, or, what's probable, don't be afraid to stretch yourself. So 5 goals in those areas. Good. How's it going, you guys? Good? You enjoying the process? Yeah, now stay focused. Stay in the state you're in. Just stay in that state. You guys are doing great. Don't let your little voice jump in. Little voice jumps in. That's not real. I can't do that. That's not good enough. If your brain goes blank, just take a deep breath, let it go, and just notice the first thing that pops in your brain. That's probably something good. Okay? Don't force it. It should just be natural. It's already in there. Your spirit already knows what it wants. It really does. All you got to do is just listen to it. Listen to yourself, and don't be afraid. Oh, this will hurt somebody's feelings. My family won't like me after this, or whatever. Don't let that stuff. If that stuff pops in, it's probably a good goal, because it's going to push you beyond what you're maybe a little bit comfortable with. So if you're worried about what other people might think about it, that's probably a good one. Write it down. Okay? Particularly in the business category. Okay? Don't be afraid to go big. Remember, it's a direction. It's a direction. Okay? All right, let's move on to the third column. The third column is self-improvement. So what self-improvement is, what are the goals you have for yourself in terms of your own personal development? Now, some of these things can obviously lap over on each other. They can overlap each other. That's okay. Don't worry about if you repeat one from another column, don't worry about that. That's okay too. Okay? There's no right or wrong to any of these things. These are your goals. I'm not checking on them. I'm not going to tell you if it's right or wrong, but just make sure it's a goal, something you can achieve. You may not be able to measure it, but you should be able to achieve it. Okay? It's something that's achievable. Like, I want to learn how to fly. I want to be able to jump off a building and fly. That's just not real. That's just not doable. Okay. So don't go, that's what I'm saying. Don't do those kind of goals, but goals that within the realm of human beings are possible to do. So self-improvement might be, I want to become, over the next 6 to 9 months, I want to become a better listener, or I want to become more patient, or I want to do more processing. I want to do more processing or clearing and stuff like that. Or I want to eliminate my self-sabotaging blah 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 blah, whatever it is. So this could be, for me, this is usually quite a long list, so I try to limit it to 5 because I know that the self-improvement one is somehow driving all the rest. But maybe it will, maybe it won't. So write down 5 goals that you want to achieve over the next 6 months in the area of self-improvement. Okay, begin doing that now if you haven't done so already. So I will share some of these with you. So, because these are some things that I'm working on, might help you. One of the things I wrote down is I want to be able to witness my own emotions better. In other words, I would like to be able to stand outside myself and watch myself having emotion rather than becoming the emotion. That's a real big thing. I've been working on that a lot. Okay. So that's one for me. That's a really big one for me. That helps keep me out of reaction, right? I want to eliminate, sometimes I get stuck, like everybody, I get stuck and confused. And so I don't like being stuck and confused. So I like to be able to, whatever I believe that my little voice defaults to going to confusion and stuckness as a way of preventing me from moving forward. I know that about myself. If I say I'm stuck and confused, that's an easy way to bail out. So I want to get whatever that issue is. As I'm going through my processing sessions, I really want to work on that one. Okay. So these are kind of some of the things that when I put self-improvement, you might put down you want to lose 15 pounds. That's self-improvement too. Okay. Or you want to have a 5-pack. You want to have a 5-pack set of abs, right? You start doing a lot of crunches, whatever it is you want to do. So it's fitness can come under the self-improvement as well. Fitness and health. Wow, I would have never expected this one. I bet you want to know what it is too. I'm not telling. There we go.
You're a tease, Blair.
I know I am. I'm not telling. I'll let you look. We're ready? See, you can look.
Screenshot, quick.
Yeah. Well, it's being recorded. If you go back and slow it down, you might be able to read them.
That's just not right.
So funny.
Okay. Everybody got them? How many people had your little voices? How many people were getting a little bit excited when you're writing some of those down? Good. How many people had your little voice going, I'm not sure about that? Okay, good. Okay. How many people think sometimes maybe you bit off more than you could chew? All right. All that's good. All right, take a deep breath. Another deep breath. Okay, shake it out a little bit. Shake it out. Okay, stand up. Maybe if you can stand up, do 5 jumping jacks. 1, that's 6 doing them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give yourself a high five. Give yourself a high five. Woo! Okay, good. 2 fists out. On the count of 3, we're going to yell, huh, and pull it in. Ready? 1, 2, 3, huh. Again, 1, 2, 3, huh. All right, good job. All right, so here's what I want you to do. We're going to go back and look at this list, all this list now. And here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Use a different colored pen if you've got one. I want you to go back over to the first column, personal, family, and relationships. And here's what I want you to do. And don't think about this too much. I want you to go down the list of 5. I want you to pick the one goal. If out of all 5 of those, which goal, if you achieved it right now, would make the biggest, most profound difference in your life? Not the easy one necessarily, not the one that you think you can do, not the one that other people think you should do, but the one, if you could accomplish that, would make the biggest, most profound difference in your life right now. If you achieve that right now, circle it. Just do it. Don't think about it. Don't let your little voice involve with it. To be totally objective. Got it. Sweet. I love this process. Okay, everybody got it? Don't think about it. If your little voice goes, yeah, but. No, don't do that. Your little voice should be chirping quite loud and going, I'm not sure about that's okay. Circle it anyway. Okay? This is when you really gotta witness your little voice and just say, thank you for sharing. It's okay. Just kind of go away for a minute. Just go away for a second. Okay, good. All right, second column, same thing. Once you go down that column, read through them. If there was one goal out of those 5 that if you achieved it would have the biggest impact on you right now. The biggest one, not the, certainly it may not be the easiest one. Certainly it may not be the most popular one. And certainly it may be one that you have some doubts about. That's okay, but you wrote it down. Which one would have the biggest impact if you achieved it right now? Do that now. Circle one of them, just one. Okay. Ooh, that was a tough one. Okay. Next column, self-improvement. Same drill. Go through all 5 or 3, however many, or 4, however many you wrote, and circle the one. Just stay on the step we're on. Circle the one that's going to that would, if you accomplish it, would have the biggest impact right now. Okay. Very good. Give yourselves a round of applause. Good job. Okay. So you should have 3 goals circled right now. Now you know what's coming next. You know the next question I'm going to ask you. Everybody knows. And your little voice is kind of freaking out about it. So let your little voice tell it to shut up and just be, and don't go there. Okay? Don't think about it. I don't want you to be thinking, well, will it have, if I do this, if I do it? None of that ifs. Don't worry about how you're going to do it. Don't worry if it even can be done. Just right now, circle the one. Out of the 3 that you circled the one that if you can only get one out of all 3, which of the 3 would have the biggest, most profound impact on you? Not the easiest one, but the most. Not the easiest one, but the one that would have the biggest impact on you right now. Which would it be? Ah, that was a tough one. That's a tough one. Now, here's the good news. Don't worry about it because you're going to get all these anyway. Okay, so don't worry about it. I saved that till later to tell you this. But here's what happens. The one you just circled, that last one, I want you to write at the bottom of the page, I want you to write it out again. I want you to write the letters MDP, that stands for most definite purpose. Okay? And for right now, I want you to write that one out by itself in all capital letters. And you can draw a little cloud around it. I'm going to do that. And you might want to draw some stars. I'm going to do that too. See, so you can make it look pretty if you want to do all that, right? Okay. So that's your MDP. Now, your assignment is going to be when we're done with this call is to write that on a note card or something and place it on a mirror or someplace in your house, your study work area, so you can be reminded of it. Okay, so you can have it in front of your mind. So this is your MDP. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Good job. Well done. Now, here's what we know about this process. Is that if this becomes this is your MDP, this is the primary goal that you'll be driving for over the next 6 months. Here's what we also know, is that if you go after this one in a very strong way, all the rest of these are going to come right along with it. Because once the spirit once you start working on what it is you really want, it acts like a vortex or kind of sucks everything else up with it. So don't stress out, I don't know if I can get the other ones. They're going to come too. As a matter of fact, one of your first assignments is to write it down and put it in a place where you will see it. Second thing is this list of 15 goals that you have now, today for me is Tuesday afternoon, okay? So whatever time it is, whatever day it is for you, this is your assignment. Once a week on Tuesday, if it's Tuesday where you are, if it's Wednesday where you are, you're going to write all 15 of these goals down again. Every week, you're going to write down all 15. Not just your MDP, you're going to write down all 15. Now, you don't need to do anything with it. Just write them down, write them all out. You can throw it away if you want to. You don't even need to keep it. Why? Because you need to keep reminding yourself of these goals, and some magical things will begin to happen. I've been doing this process for several years this way. And what will happen is you're going to find that some of these other ones, well, let me just ask you this. If you got whatever MDP that you got, how many of you realize if you get that one, a bunch of the other ones are going to happen anyway, right? See? So that's kind of how this works. So because you got the one that's most important to you, the rest of them will come quite along with it. Okay, so, but what I want you to do is that every week on Tuesday or Wednesday, whether it's in your morning, journaling at night, however you want to do it, write all 15 goals down again each week for the next couple of months. Okay, got it? All right. So, congratulations. You now have your MDP going into 2019. That's awesome, yeah? So you can share what it is if you want to. I'm not asking anybody to do that. But does anybody have any comments of what came up for them in this process that they want to share quickly? Anybody?
Vanessa has her hand up. Vanessa.
Okay, go for it, Vanessa.
Eu não sei se o Gustavo puder traduzir. Para mim, quando eu comecei a fazer...
For me, when I started to...
na primeira pergunta, que você faria se você não falhasse?
At the first question, when you said, what do you do if you know you wouldn't fail?
Aí eu tive várias ideias com relação à área profissional.
Then I have a lot of thoughts regarding my professional area.
Só que daí, quando veio a pergunta do que eu faria se eu só tivesse mais 6 meses de vida...
But when you ask the question, what would you do if you only have 6 months of life?
Eu ficaria focada no caminho espiritual.
I would be focused on the spiritual path.
E isso me trouxe confusão, porque daí eu não conseguia mais saber o que eu realmente devia focar.
And that brought me confusion because I didn't know what I needed to focus on.
Okay. So, how do you feel about the MDP that you came up with?
Então, como você se sente sobre o MDP que você fez agora, que você criou? Sobre a sua meta mais definitiva?
Eu acabei colocando uma meta na área profissional porque tem me incomodado o fato de eu não estar com o resultado que eu gostaria de estar profissional.
I set a goal for my professional life because I'm not enjoying the results that I have right now, where I am right now.
Mas aí parece incoerente com o que realmente é o mais importante para mim.
But this looks a little bit strange because it's not the more important thing for me.
Okay. So what is the more important thing for you?
Ok, o que é a coisa mais importante para você?
Atualmente é o caminho espiritual.
Now it's the spiritual path.
Okay, good. So
okay.
was one of your goals in what you wrote down have to do with following a spiritual path?
Desculpa que eu fala de novo, Gustavo.
Tá desligado, Gus.
É que para eu seguir meu caminho espiritual, eu preciso sobreviver, eu preciso pagar as contas. Então, eu não posso ficar só no caminho espiritual, eu tenho que ter o business também.
Yeah, it's because I know that I should be in the spiritual path, but that doesn't pay my bills. So I know that I need to work on my professional side too.
Okay, good. So is it possible that you can get, so my question was, did you have any goals in the other 14 that had anything to do with following a spiritual journey or a spiritual path?
espiritual?
Sim.
Yes.
Good. So you're gonna get. So you get all of them. Are you okay to have? Are you okay to have both?
Yes.
Sim.
Yes.
You know, somebody once said it's much easier to feel spiritual in the back of a stretch limousine.
Sorry, Blair, can you say that again?
I said somebody once said that it's much easier to feel spiritual when you're in the back of a stretch limousine. Or on the beach.
Ou na praia?
So good for you. So just so you know, you can have all of it. But what you've identified is in order for you to get what you want, to make that path work, you need to focus on your business for a while. Good job.
Ótimo trabalho.
Give her a
Sorry,
hand.
Blair.
Dê uma salva de palmas para ela.
Sorry, Blair, can I add something?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Vanessa, I just want to say, you know, both of them can be together, but we just been through an Egypt retreat with 5-star cruising, 5-star cuisine, 5-star hotels, and walk on a spiritual path. Spiritual, it's meant to be prosperity and abundance.
Yeah, baby. That's what I like hearing. How many people sign up for that one?
Mm-hmm.
Me. Okay. Thank you, pal. Good job. Vanessa, take a deep breath. You can have all of it, okay? Like you said, God, the great spirit, the universe wants you to be rich, wants you to be wealthy, whatever you define wealth to be, okay? It's an abundant universe. Anyone else want to share?
Me,
Okay, me.
Cecile. Hi, Blair. Hi, everyone. I jump here because it was such a different experience than 6 months before we've done that. And I'm a bit shaking because what I choose is not what my mind wanted to choose, but my heart. And all my focus right now is on my business side and my professional side. And that's not what I felt like I had to choose on my MDP.
Right.
So that, as you was saying, oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's strong. I felt the same. And that's a completely different experience. And that means to me that I'm deeper into myself and more open to myself. So great experience. Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing the shakiness and having it be different. That's good. That's a good thing. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to get to who you really are, what you really want. Because then the spirit's happy. And I don't know about you, but any of the goals that you wrote down, any of them, are going to require a lot of spirit and a lot of energy and a lot of vision. I think everybody will agree to that, yeah? So you want to make sure that you have all cylinders pounding away. You know, you want to make sure you have your whole spirit involved. And when that's happening, the business stuff will go too, because you wrote those things down too. But because they are still goals. But I think that if you could look at it deeper and say, look, if I could really achieve this MVP, if I could really move in that direction, would it pull the rest of them along with it? And the truth of it is, in most cases, you're going to have to say yes. But it may be a little scary. Because, you know, sometimes you set goals that you think you should do, but, you know, sometimes those goals are tough, and we kind of set those goals kind of knowing, well, you know, I may not get it, but that's what I need to do, but I may not, you know. See, the emotion you're feeling is because it's what you're supposed to feel. You're supposed to feel that your purpose. You're supposed to feel it. You're supposed to have some juice around all of that stuff, right? So congratulations. Good job. Give her a round of applause. How many other people were a little bit surprised with the MDP, or the MDP that came up was not necessarily what you would have anticipated before we even started the process? How many had that kind of going on too? Okay, good. Well, I did. I mean, I didn't expect this one to come up, really, at all. So, but I've come to expect that when I do this process, because in reading, Eckhart Tolle, the Power of Now, and then this one. I don't know if you've seen this one. A New Earth. Is that what he says? Is, really your mind, Cecile, is the problem. Is when you're thinking too much, is the mind creates all this drama and all this chatter around stuff. And so what he says when you're operating in your mind, you're not being your true self. You're not operating out of beingness, not operating out of the present moment. So the reason that Pau did what she did, and we do this process, because I want you to isolate all the rest of that away and just get you really present in this moment, to choose in the moment, not based on the past, not based on the future, not based on anything, but where you are right now. That's why Pau's process in the very beginning was so important and so powerful, is to at least get you in that space. Because think about if you could make all your decisions from that space. Be pretty powerful, right? Without the drama. Because the brain creates the melodrama. And I know you have no drama in your life, do you, Cecile? Awesome. Thank you. Give her another round of applause. All right. What time we got? Okay, one more share. Yes. You're
Yes.
Stella. Who is it?
You've got Bamal going right now.
I think before that, who is that? Estella? Okay, so we'll do Estella and Bamal. Okay?
Okay, thank you. For me, it was very interesting. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Was very interesting because the first thing when you just said, okay, you gotta circulate the first thing, I went right through the second column. I didn't hear like the final like the sentence itself, and I went straight there. And the funny thing is that this thing by itself is the result of all the others. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing. So thank you for that. It was like clarity is power, like you say, and Tila say that all the time.
Nice. Congratulations. Give her a hand. Well done. Jamal.
Yes, Blair. For me, my MDP was something that went, right, steamrolled my normal little voice, which I normally have. Am I good enough, irrespective of what everybody else says? I've heard you also say that this is one of the biggest little voices that comes up as trainers, and I keep struggling with it. And I just this MTP helped me completely steamroll through it, and thank you so much. It has taken me to a different state of mind. Thank
awesome. You. Congratulations. Good job. Give him a round of applause. Good job. Good job, you guys. Now, like I said, I'm not asking you to share these unless you want to. That's up to you. If you have it, like I said, if you have a strong support group, then share. A lot of us, on the Facebook group, share the MDPs and help support each other. That's a pretty trusted group. If that's what you guys choose to do, that's fine. Just be careful who you share it with. That's all I ask. Okay, good. Now, beyond this, you have two assignments, right? One is to write it down in a prominent place. Number two is to write it down, all the goals down once a week. The third thing is if you've been part of the part of the goal setting process, one of the stages has to do with creating a PERT. That's capital P, capital E, capital R, capital T. PERT stands for Project Evaluation Review Technique. Now, you don't need to remember that. At UPDP, we teach it. For those people that are level 2s, it's on the portal, I believe, for level 2s, right, Karen? that whole process of how to do one properly is up there. But for those of you that don't, basically what you do, what I'm going to ask you to do is to take the MDP, and what you'll do is you'll lay it out. And Anna Paula, do you have one nearby? Do you actually have one of your perts?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah. Just a minute.
Okay, she's going to get one. Okay, and what you do is you lay it out and you put that MDP on a Post-it. Okay, so you put it on a Post-it on a big piece of paper over on the right-hand side. And then what you do is you create a plan by laying out all on each Post-it, each step of the way as you would imagine it to achieve that goal. So can you show it? Can you hold that up so you can see it?
Yeah, I got the two. I already finished.
Yeah.
I will show the.
There we go. There we go. So that's a PERT chart. So all the way over on the right, keep it up there for a second. All the way over there on the right is our MDP, or whatever her goal was. And over on the left is present time. So these are all, each one of these are the events that she feels are going to need to happen to take place. Now, she may not know how to do them. She may not even know what the step really is, but she kind of filled that in. And then she gives them times and dates. So the green dots mean she's achieved it already. The yellow dots mean that she's what? Cautionary?
Yeah, it was that I was late to achieve, but it's like I passed through these steps and got what I want.
Right, good. So what I'm going to ask you guys, now you can have, what you don't mind us asking, what was that goal?
Yeah, this was to sell my house.
Oh, okay, good.
This is the original one, Blair.
Yeah, this is the second one I did.
This is the second one. The first one was to quit her job and start her own business.
Yeah, but it's a big one. Yeah.
Yeah, show them that one. Okay.
2 pages, flip chart page.
Now, what was interesting is she had forecasted when she laid out her plan. The plan was it was going to take you 6 months to do it, and how long did it take you to get it done?
The hardest step that would leave my previous job, it's worked in 3 weeks.
3 weeks, right? So right. So that's, and by the way, no offense to the men here, but women are usually much better at this. I'm just saying over the years. when women start getting clear on their goals, they usually get what they want, and any guy knows exactly what I'm talking about. But my point is what I would ask that you do, and don't even worry about whether you're doing the process exactly right or not, but lay out those steps, hang it on a wall, and then check off the steps as you achieve it. Anything you want to say about that, Anna?
I have a new one now, and it's working very well. Now I have one more to make. This is MDP now, but it's like someone said here. When you have clear what you want, it's going to happen. And I think the second one was very interesting also because I put a date that I would sell my house, and it didn't happen. And at the last day, anyone come to visit my house at the last day of the date I gave, and I talked to my PERT and I said, "What's happening? No one come to visit my house." And I did like a letter to my PERT, and at the same day on the afternoon, someone knocked in my door asking to see my house. Of course, I didn't sold the house this day, but I knew that it would happen. So I postponed more 3 months, and in the middle of this period, I got the buyer for my house, and I moved into another apartment in the end of the period.
Awesome. Give her a hand. Give her a hand. Now, the reason, and again, I'm not going to go through the PERT process right now, is by laying it out like that, you give it life. You give it life. It has movement. It has direction. It has a body. it has motion, and it has a life of its own. I've been teaching PERT charts for many, 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 many years. And the interesting thing about it is if you take the time, and again, this, I'm just challenging you to do it if you want, is to lay it out. And again, time on your PERT chart moves from left to right. So you put the events in the sequence that you would foresee them to happen. You use Post-it notes because you can change them around if you need to. And you may have multiple things going on at the same time. That's all good too. But as Anna Paula will tell you, and anybody that's used it, the process is it takes the MDP and takes it from just being a purpose and a goal to giving it a whole body and giving it life. And what happens is there's a ripple effect to all of that. Lots of things will begin to happen that are pleasantly unexpected as a result of you laying it out that way. So I challenge all of you to take that on if you choose to. If you know, that's right, Mindy. Mindy's on it. Yeah, Mindy's got a PERT chart. Hey, Mindy, you want to say anything about it? I love it. Besides, I love it.
I love it.
I love it so much.
Because you do it too, right?
Absolutely. I've been doing it for a year. I've had already two different PERTs. Although my PERTs are very challenging, I must say that nothing's come within the time frame of the PERT. The goal itself hasn't come within the time frame, but a lot of things have happened. Things that I haven't expected to happen to move me forward in a lot of different directions that I never thought would happen.
Right.
So things move when you start planning. The universe starts moving things into an alignment. That's really
right. That's right. Well said. What she's saying is because you give it a physicality, you give it a physicalness, it actually begins to move energy and move the universe around in your favor. Again, I'm not saying you have to do it, but as a result of your MDP, it's going to happen anyway. You've already started that process. So if you want to accelerate it, you might want to lay it out in a PERT chart. Thank you, Mindy. Give them both a big round of applause. Okay? So I'm just going to start wrapping this up by saying congratulations. Okay, Annie Cow said, I'd like to share something. I've done this process twice a year in the last 5 years and achieved every single goal. Very powerful process. Yay, PERT. PERT.
I love it.
Yeah, if you don't know why they're yelling that, you got to come to UPDP and you'll find out why they're all yelling that.
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, I thank you so much for sharing this time with me. I mean, it's a special time during the year. I know you guys have a lot of things going on. We have family times, holidays, all that stuff. But to share your precious time over the last hour and a half, to share your goals, your dreams, your true spirit. I mean, nobody can make anybody do something like that. And it just continually, in my mind, I was talking to Mindy about this today, it just continually inspires me to be around people that are so moved to do the things that you do, to step up, to be as conscious, to be as driven, to be as supportive of each other as you guys are. It just blows my mind. And to be able to sit there, and I call it, this is a very precious process right here. And use it again and again and again and again and again. You know, we'll always do it as a team, but you know, if you just feel like you need to do it, just sit down and crank out the process again for yourself. Crank one out, see what happens, see if the same things show up, and follow your spirit. You know, this is a combination of the things you really want and need and the things that you know that you need to work on. And I just thank Mac Newton for giving us the process to use. So let's give him a big round of applause. We spiced it. Yeah, we spiced it up a little bit for sure. But you know, we're all thinking about him today. He's in surgery today, getting his knee replaced. You know, not very many people at that age are worried about replacing a knee, but Mac Newton is, and so that's where he's at today. And all our white light and love goes out to him, and thank him for this process. And I'll let him know that 35 hardy souls followed his process, and that we're in his heart. Yeah, thank you, Cecile. And that he's in our heart. Okay. Any comments you want to make, Karen?
I just want to say how many people here were pretty excited about your 2019 goals, yeah?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How many people here learned a little bit more about the goals process and PERT today, thanks to Blair? That's great. Thank you so much. I continue to learn from you all the time. You always take it deeper. So again, team, let's give Blair a huge round of applause, please, for leading the call today. And all the best to everybody with your MDPs.
Right. Whoa, one last thing. Thank you, Karen. One last word of warning. Don't get too attached to that. Don't get attached. It's a direction. It's a direction. Okay? And that, sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. The worst thing that happens, you come up to the deadline, wait for it. If you come up with that deadline and you haven't made it, just extend the deadline. It's not a big deal. Okay? So here's what I'm going to ask you all to do. About one thing. So if you just bear with me for a second, everybody take a deep breath. Let it go. And close your eyes. Thank you. Just take another deep breath. And exhale. And so what I'd like you to do right now in the few moments we have left together as a team is I want you to take your mind, your vision, all the way out into the future. All the way out into the future to where you have achieved this MDP. Somewhere out in the future, I want you to see yourself having achieved this most definite purpose. Where are you? Where will you be? How will you be feeling? Who will be there if anyone else is there? And how will you know that you've achieved it? Just that's it. Just stay there. Just go all the way into the future. Put yourself right in that spot at the moment, at the time when you know you've achieved this MDP. And notice how that feels. And just feel it right now. Feel it in your heart. Feel it in your body. Feel it in your toes. And just stay in that moment for a moment. And just stay there in the future just for a few more seconds. That time when you've achieved this goal. And notice what you see. And how you feel. If anybody's going to be saying anything, what will they be saying? Most importantly, what will you be saying to yourself at that time? Excellent. And just before you open your eyes, just thank yourself for achieving that MDP. In the future, see yourself thanking yourself. And thank yourself now for the courage, for the humility, for the spirit, and for the passion that gave you the opportunity to receive this moment sometime in the future. Great job. Everybody take a deep breath. Let it go. Open your eyes. And hold on to that picture. So every day when you're looking at that MDP, just go right to that picture, okay? And you'll be surprised what'll happen. I look forward to hearing what happens, okay?
Hey, Blair, speaking of pictures, let's take one so we have a new one for the Facebook groups now that you're on the call, which is great.
Sure.
Okay, so if everybody could do a screenshot for me too, just in case mine doesn't come out, that would be great. Ready, everyone? 1, 2, 3, smile. Awesome. If you can email that to me, folks, or send it in the Facebook group, that would be fantastic. Thank you so much again, Blair, and thank you
Thanks, guys.
all of you. A very blessed
Merry
holiday.
Christmas, Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, Blair. Thank you, Karen.
Christmas.
Bye,
Merry
everyone.
Love you guys.
Bye,
Good Christmas.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.